Hi, my name is Jen. I'm a teen librarian at Monroe County Public Library, and today I'm going to show you how to make a macrame feather wall hanging. This is one of our take and make kits for January. Materials in the bag include some pre-cut macrame cord in various sizes, a wooden dowel, and a piece of yarn. You also need a couple materials from home, including a pair of scissors and a hair comb or brush. What you'll do first is to arrange all the pieces of macrame cord in descending order from longest to shortest. Once you've done that, you'll take the longest piece of macrame cord and fold it in half. You'll lay that down on the table with the loop side up. After that, you'll take your next longest piece of macrame cord, fold it in half, and set it under that long piece of macrame cord. That long piece will form the spine of our feather. You'll take a second piece of macrame cord and fold the ends of the loops together and pull. And you'll want to pull really tightly so that the knot is nice and snug and secure. You'll take the next longest piece of macrame cord, loop it under, and you're going to start loop side down on the opposite side this time, so you're alternating sides. You'll take the next loop of macrame cord and loop the ends together like you did in the first step and pull to create a knot again. You'll keep following the same steps with smaller and smaller loops of macrame cord until you've used all of your pieces. This can get a little bit tricky as you get to the smallest pieces, but just do your best and tuck them in. It may take a little bit of time to get it just right. And at the very end, I like to pull and make sure that all the knots are secure. And you should have something that looks like this. Finally, take the smallest pieces, making sure to alternate which loops you're laying down on the table first. And loop them together. This will become the bottom part of the feather. Again, check your knots, make sure they're nice and snug. For the smallest pieces, it's really hard. It takes me a couple tries usually, so just take your time and make sure everything fits together correctly. Again, just pulling in all the knots to make sure they're secure and tight. And you should end up with something like that. Next, I'm going to take my hair comb and I'm going to comb out the fibers of the cord so that it starts to look a little more feather-like. This can take a little while, so be patient and just take your time. You also want to hang on to the spine of the feather to make sure that none of the knots become loose as you're doing this process. And you can use either side of the comb or brush that you're using. You can try both sides and see works best. if it's the wider tooth part of the comb or the smaller tooth part of the comb. But the more you brush out the fibers, the better and more realistic your feather will look. It'll also give it a nice full appearance. You can see that I wasn't taking my own advice and one of my knots did come loose. So if that happens, you'll just repeat the process and knot it again. And comb out a little bit more just to make sure that everything looks nice and even. All right. Next, I'll take my sharp scissors. I'm using fabric scissors, which are nice and sharp. And I'm going to cut around the outside edges of the feather to give it more of that feather shape. Or leaf, or whatever you, whatever shape you want to make. So I'm just going to cut around the edges, make sure everything looks nice and even. Kind of curve things at the top. But again, this is up to you and what you think looks best. After you trim, you might decide that you want to comb out your fibers a little bit more. And there you go. Once you've finished trimming, you can take your wooden dowel and thread it through the top loop of the feather. And next, take your piece of yarn and tie it to one side of the wooden dowel, making just a simple knot. You'll take the other end of the yarn and tie a simple knot on the other side of the wooden dowel. And the yarn is just used to hang the dowel on the wall or wherever you want to hang it. And there you go, a macrame feather wall hanging.